Oh shit, last episode I referred to a black woman as a bitch and I gotta apologize to myself.
Wait a minute. To yourself?
What I told you, she laughed about it. She thought the whole story was funny, but no one busted in her eye.
And nobody does it like you, Daddy. So.
Okay, the daddy thing is just creepy. I got daughters.
You don't like being called daddy.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I find that weird.
I do find it weird.
I've always found it weird.
Only if I'm out at dinner with her parents.
And that would be precisely when I would never call you that.
You gotta stay consistent.
No. Well, I always like to tell people, particularly dudes, I'm like, I only have one daddy. You're telling the story this week?
No.
Yes.
I have nothing. Stories. And I'm sure you do.
Why aren't you telling a story?
What the fuck is this dick story time? I mean,
well,
some of this shit is horrific memories for me.
Oh, sorry.
Well.
I mean, it's kind of cheap therapy, though. In a way.
Clearly, I'm one of them black men that don't do therapy like that.
No, well, I mean, maybe you should.
Nah. You like it.
I do.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Counterproductive, woman. Counterproductive.
But he knows. I like everything he does.
You ain't got to lie, Craig.
And I do.
Y'all just need to do the podcast by yourself. I don't even know why I'm here.
You are entertainment value. No one person is bigger than the group. We need you.
You're the optimistic realist, obviously.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, sure.
No, because I'm sitting here like I'm the dick storyteller, but well, whatever.
That's part of your role as being the voice of reason. Welcome to the threesome. This is the podcast where the three of us try to tackle about 3 topics every week. The 3 of us are Star. She's our optimistic realist.
What up, dog?
There is Magic, our voice of reason. And me, I'm Storm, and I am the pragmatic contrarian of the group.
All together now. You want me to go first?
What are we talking about? Okay, well, Magic, you go first.
Oh yeah,
what are we talking about?
Last week. I did some research, and from what I gathered, granted I didn't do much research because I don't care, but I did a little bit of research. And from what I gather, worldwide, around 2% of people die from COVID. And according to Valtrex commercials, 1 in every 5 adults has genital herpes, so that makes that 20%. Are you more scared of COVID or herpes?
Well, I, for one, am not scared of herpes at all because I stay my ass at home by my goddamn self.
Wash your hands.
All these dime store epidemiologists, and like it hurts my head because you're talking about 2 different types of viruses. They're different types of herpes viruses. You've probably been infected with 1 or 2 of them.
I've had the chicken pox, yeah.
There you go. But you'll never get chicken pox again. You might get shingles, but you won't get chicken pox again because you've had chicken pox.
Do you know how smooth the skin is?
No, but if you let me touch it. Anyway.
I'm very aware it's 2 different types of diseases. The thing is, are you more scared of dying from one or living with the other?
I would be more afraid of living with COVID. And the reason being is because we just don't even know enough about it.
True.
And there's a lot of anecdotal evidence that shows, even if it doesn't kill you, it can alter your life significantly. I understand why there's an abundance of caution around this virus. I mean, there's also some semblance of caution around the flu, but it's not the same.
And for
Okay.
me, I'm just screwed either way. I have what they consider to be comorbidities that would make contracting COVID difficult for me to
Yes,
recover from.
as do I, but I don't worry about it killing me. But go ahead.
For me, because I already have nerve issues, misfires, neurological issues,
Oh
if
my
I
God.
contract herpes, either way it goes, stress in your nervous system, it plays a big part in what your quality of life is if you have herpes. It's what it is. It's
Right,
like it's
no.
the truth. It's science behind that.
Right.
However,
But if you get
however,
a cold sore, it's not going to make your life
okay,
that much more difficult, is what I'm saying.
so that's where I was just headed. So
Okay.
here's the thing. If I get the herpes where I get cold sores on my face and things like that, like a simplex 10 or something in that nature, my whole neurological system is always on 10. It's just like,
Oh, okay.
so I would consistently have cold sores and I would never find a husband. I would never, like, that would make life miserable for me either, as well, because think about it. I would always have like some type of sores or whatever on my face on a regular basis, and I wouldn't take pictures with friends. I wouldn't, be able to really date like that. I mean, that would also affect the quality of my life as well. So again, I get either
Well,
one, I'm screwed.
I mean, but that's treatable, is my point.
Yeah, it's treatable,
Not
It's
fast
but
enough.
huh?
I
What's
mean,
that?
he said not
Said
fast
not fast
enough.
enough. You
Right.
get
Not fast
times where
enough.
you just
Yeah,
bumped into your friend with that shit on their lip, got some shit on his lip, and you like, wait a minute.
exactly.
The way my neurological issues manifest is different than the way your neurological issues manifest. My pains are very sporadic. When my nerves fire, it's excruciating, but they'll fire and then I'll be okay for however long. It could be a month before I feel like anything else.
Ever since the age of 27, 28, there's 365, sometimes 366 days out of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at least 330 of those days, I'm in pain.
Okay.
Fuck the OnlyFans. We're gonna start a GoFundMe for this podcast. Y'all got me worried.
Well, I mean, and I'm not in pain as often as you are. I have days where it should just be firing just constantly, and it's annoying, but I deal with it. Then I can go days where I don't feel anything.
I may have possibly 2 or 3 days in a row. And then here's the thing about that. If I get more than 2 or 3 days, I'm
Mm-hmm.
almost concerned,
Oh, well,
because what normally goes along with that is if I do have small breaks in my leg bothering me,
mm-hmm.
then there's something else going on.
Oh, well, see, the thing with me is I'd almost rather it be a constant pain. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, you think that.
No, I would. Like, I'd almost rather it be constant pain because when it creeps up on me, because the pain is so sharp and severe, you really just want to scream. You know what I mean? But you can't.
So imagine wanting to scream damn near every day
No, no,
of
no.
your life.
Trust me. And I've had periods where I will be in pain for 2 or 3 days straight What you don't want is for that pain to just creep up on you, because it is very hard, let me tell you, not to scream when it does.
I get what you're saying. I guess my point is, even with mine being an everyday thing, it's not less.
I'm just saying that if you know it's there, it's
Yeah,
easier.
knowing for me, it doesn't make it easier. Because when
Well, I
them pains
it's
be like,
no, no, no. I'm not saying that the pain is easier. I'm saying it's easier not to like scream out.
I guess. Okay. What would you rather,
Magic.
Mr.
My
Magic?
health insurance policy is up tomorrow, and I'm going to a party.
Mhm.
And I know it's bad luck to say it out loud. I do not fear COVID whatsoever. I can't think of the last time I had a cold. I'm probably delusional with how healthy I think I am, but I
Yes,
don't
you
fear
probably
stuff
are.
like that.
I mean, I don't fear it either. I'm a little bit monkish, so I'm a chronic hand washer
Yeah, I don't think
anyway.
I'm OCD about it, but I do more than most anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Although
OCD about
nowadays I'd probably be more prone to wear a mask than a condom, but that's long
it.
term relationship shit.
Oh, good grief.
Wow. I mean, and I will wear my mask when I'm out, the few occasions that I go out, which, by the way, has nothing to do with, the pandemic. I just don't like people.
I feel you.
Yeah, you
So
were a hermit before the virus.
I was a hermit long
And
before
it's
the
cool that I
virus.
can hide my facial expressions now because they tell on me every time.
Oh, well, it's still in my eyes, so that's okay. I also don't care because, fuck what you
Yeah.
think. If you say some crazy shit and I look at you crazy, then that's what you get. But I was out today running errands. I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm out in the middle of people and oh my God, I'm browsing through the store. I can't touch anything. But I would rather not find out how it would affect me. Also, if I have COVID, I'm never going to know it. And the reason
Uh,
is because you're
yeah.
not sticking shit up my nose. Okay? I mean, I'm just going to be real. I don't put things up my nose, and I'm about to sit still and let anyone else put things up my nose. I will fight.
You are
Well,
entirely too violent.
I'm not.
Next topic.
I was in the doctor's office earlier today, and one of them reality shows were on. Don't ask me because I don't know who's who and what's what. But one of the gentlemen on the show, he was talking with his fellas, and they were like all in the basement. It was probably like maybe about 8 or 9 of them, and they were having a conversation. And he was saying that it was suggested to him by his boss at work that he get a therapist. And basically, guys at the show was just like the crazy doctor, the head doctor. Oh no, ain't nobody getting in my head, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, that's such a tired stereotype with us, not just the whole men don't want to go to the doctor thing. Like a lot of black people in general have an aversion to therapy. And I just wanted to discuss, why do you think that is? And pretty much, where did it come from?
It is hard historically for black people, particularly in this country, to trust the medical establishment. And I get that.
Ah, man, Ron.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's true. I get that too.
I get why.
Yeah.
Tuskegee.
Well, not just
Yep.
Tuskegee, just,
Nah, it's a whole
you
bunch of
know,
shit. That
there's a
is, yeah.
whole bunch of stuff that I could tell you stories about how they tried to kill me. And I'm someone who's somewhat knowledgeable about such things. And I think when it comes to a therapist,
Hmm.
it has to be someone you trust in order to tell them certain things.
Hmm.
Also, if you are a black person and your therapist is not,
Mhm. It's difficult
Yeah,
for them
fuck
to
that.
relate,
there
for
are
you to
things
be
that you're
able to
going to
tell
have to,
you.
yes, there are things you're going to have to explain to them because they don't
Mhm.
get it on a level
Mhm.
that black people might get. So
Mhm.
I say all that to say my therapist is a black woman. Okay, I got to
Mhm.
explain shit to her. She understands when I say
Mhm.
something. She knows what I'm talking about because she been there. And
Mhm.
that's
Word.
not to say that a white person can't be a good therapist. They absolutely can. But what I'm saying is that it's such a relationship of trust.
Mhm.
I think it's hard for a lot of black people to put that kind of trust into a stranger
Yeah, and pay them.
and pay them, you
I
know.
think for a lot of us, our therapist is the barber, the bartender, the cousin, the uncle, the grandma. We don't really think of going outside of our inner circle to seek professional help like these people haven't been trained. And I don't want to speak for all black men, but for me personally, it's a level of ego involved and fuck it, it's arrogance. I feel like I can solve my own problems better than even someone that has been trained to do it can. Plus, in it's there is the distrust in the medical field where it's like you don't get paid to cure the problem. You get paid to come back next week. So it's a lot of
Mhm.
distrust in that. But even in that, yeah, a lot of y'all need therapy. And don't be afraid to try it.
Well, and then there's a misconception that your therapist is there to solve your problems. That is not what your therapist is there for.
No, they're here to help you figure out how to do better at it on your own.
Exactly. And it also helps that your therapist isn't someone who's in your inner circle because your inner circle tends to be an echo chamber a lot of times
Mhm.
Yep.
of all of the same dysfunction that is occurring
Mhm.
in your own life. So it's better to
Shake
go to
that shit off, nigga.
someone. Yeah, it's better to go to someone who doesn't really know you and can identify certain things and maybe get you to think about things differently. Whereas the people that are in your circle, a lot of times they think pretty much like you. So, how is that going to
Yeah.
help?
Oh, for a person that's adamantly against going to therapy, I highly recommend it for other people.
Well, and and as somebody who cares about you, I highly recommend it for you.
You think?
Mm.
I do.
Why?
Because I think you have some things you need to work through. I just do.
Like what?
There are things. I also think that you're one of those rare people who I can say therapy would probably benefit 100%. Why? Because you're very honest. Whereas,
There's a problem with that?
Mhm.
no,
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 most people,
no,
when they go to the doctor and when they go to the therapist, they're
yeah,
not very honest.
no,
They're not
Yeah.
completely honest, is which, in order to get proper help,
right,
you have to be 100% transparent. And a lot of people have an
exactly.
issue with that because they,
I have an issue
for
with
fear
that.
of judgment. For
Yeah,
fear of judgment.
I have an issue with, well, I've had an issue with that in the past because it's almost like here's this stranger in my business, even though that is what I'm paying this stranger to do, or I'll minimize certain feelings because I
You
just,
don't want them judging you?
there's certain things that I don't necessarily feel are a problem. You know what I mean?
I
Which,
know exactly what you mean. Hence, I don't go to therapy.
which might be a problem, is what I'm saying. So,
You're
it
not
would
the
probably,
first person that suggested I need to go, but no one has given me an actual reason.
I do believe it would help you just to have someone to bounce all that off of and maybe ask you some pointed questions and,
That's what the other voices in my head are for.
yeah,
Wow.
no. Yeah.
It's worked pretty well this far.
Well, has
Mm.
it?
Yes, I think I'm a lot more, as you said, honest and more sane and more relaxed than most people.
Okay, honesty doesn't equal sanity, but
No, they're three different things.
yes, I just feel like it could help you. That's all I'm saying. I also feel like it could help a lot of people,
Yeah.
myself included. I think there's always a benefit in having an impartial person to just bounce things off of. I just do.
Jeez, that's what
And
Yeah.
Twitter's for.
I mean, Star needs therapy.
Excuse you.
You needed therapy as long as I've known you. Stop it.
Listen here. I am. I have a little bit of a lot of stuff going on. I'm not completely a narcissist, but do I have narcissistic tendencies? Yes, I do.
So you're supposed to love yourself, Queen.
Woo!
Sure.
I also have I have OCD issues, like not like how you have them, but I do have OCD tendencies. I'm not monk-ish. I just might be monk adjacent. Um, that just goes into the whole mental health thing as well. Like, I am a creator. I've always been one of those people who have been an artist of some sort my whole life, rather I was a singer or, doing something else. I've been that. So my thing about that is creative people usually have a tendency to be, let's just say, different.
Sane. Oh,
Yeah,
Well, they
more
have a
down to
tendency to
earth.
be different. They
yeah.
have a tendency to be very different. And so I've always been that. Like, I recognize that really early in life. One of these things are not like the other. Well, I was not like the other kids. And, it was an issue for me at first, but by the time I got to be a teenager, my bucket bomb had become real long and I had begun to embrace my weirdness.
Exactly.
And
It's
And that's pretty
beautiful.
much me too. Like I know, like I've known forever that I'm not like everybody else. Like it has been a discernible difference between me and people I knew. So
people that I knew, people that I observed, people
I
that,
observe people on
yeah,
I
I
like
just,
yeah. So yeah,
like,
just like you, I learned to just be like, fuck it. This is me. That's
either
who I
you
am.
like me or
You
you
like it
don't.
or you don't. Love me or leave me. Like I don't.
I don't really particularly care.
I
And I
mean,
think
it's
Word.
that's,
not that I don't care. It's just that
I
I'm
don't.
not. I'm not going to lose sleep over. You know what I mean? That
I've got to the point a long time ago where I don't care.
yeah,
It's just, hey, I'm not a Barbie doll. I'm not Beyonce or I'm not whoever, but I'm me. Love me or leave me alone.
yeah.
Got to love me or leave me alone. Um, so back to the whole mental health thing, and we'll wrap this up with this if you care to. When I was younger, I was a strange kid, and my
what?
grandmother. You
Just
know
kidding.
what? I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not a kid anymore. So was.
Shout out to the
Excuse
strange
you and your
adults. Shit, let's go.
commentary. My grandmother had taken me to a therapist. It would make me so freaking angry because it was on the night that Miami Vice came on. And you want to talk about, like, I was already just this
Civilized.
angry, like, teen. Okay. I mean, I was already just this angry teenager, angry preteen or whatever. And then you pull me out the house to go talk to this Caucasian lady who knows nothing about me, who doesn't understand, and basically just do what your mother and your grandmother tell you to do, but you don't care anything about why I feel the way that I freaking feel. It's just go get good grades and whatever, whatever. And then you pull me out the house on the one night that my favorite freaking show comes on, which was Miami Vice. I would be pissed every time. So I would sit
Yeah.
there. I would sit there and just pretty much like say whatever I thought she wanted to hear, and so we could get the hell out of there, so I could at least catch the last 20 minutes. But anyway,
Mm.
I used to have to wait till the summer to catch up on the reruns. They used to piss me off.
Yeah, you
So anyway,
should have invested in a VCR.
Miami Vice.
I know.
Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Man,
Okay.
shout out to
So
Philip Michael Thomas.
but you know what? I didn't have a thing for Philip Michael Thomas. I had a thing for Don Johnson.
Right.
Philip Michael Thomas had that
Lord.
nappy taco meat on his chest, and that always turned me off. Like I
That
told you, I'm
wetness will not
picky.
allow me to
What did
continue this slander.
what did he have?
He had that nappy curly taco meat, that tight curl taco meat on his chest.
Oh my
That was such a
god.
turn off
That
to
shit was
me.
Oh
hitting
my
And
back then, I
then,
think.
oh my
huh?
god.
I thought that shit was hitting back then, but I don't know.
No.
It was
Okay.
never in for me.
No. I no. Chest hair
My man had
is
the
not
ultra perm
cute.
up top. Could he be black at some point in his body?
Yeah, yeah, no. A lot of chest hair is not cute. I mean, a little bit is fine, but a lot of chest hair is not cute. But you know what's worse than that? That damn back
Taco
hair.
meat.
No, that
Oh.
back hair. Oh my god, I can't take it. Oh,
I told you about the one dude. I walked past the bathroom while he was brushing his teeth, and I'm like, I've just slept with Sasquatch. Like, what the
oh my
hell?
god.
Like,
Yeah,
Let
I
me publicly
mean,
so
thank Mother Nature. Whew.
this one dude, I didn't know he had back hair, and I was kissing him, and I had my arms around his neck, and I touched it, and I was like, and I recoiled immediately, and then he kept grabbing my hands and trying to put them back, and I was like,
ah,
I
yeah,
can't.
I cannot.
Okay,
So
now that said, there's probably, some women somewhere who don't mind the back hair, so, I don't want anybody to feel bad about their,
and
you know,
a
Shout out
different
to
strokes
Ron
for different
Jeremy.
folks.
different
No
strokes for
offense.
different
Uh,
folks, but I'm just not the one, but,
yeah, I'm good on that.
yeah.
So the whole thing about that was anyway, the therapy went on for a couple of years, and it wasn't helpful for me at all. However, what had happened was they tested me, and they pretty much had diagnosed me with whatever the early thing was for attention deficit disorder and some other things. Now, mind you, I told you my mom has like serious mental health concerns.
Hmm.
So my grandmother, I believe, at some point had made a conscious decision to say, you know what? Not only are we not putting this child on any medication, we're not going to even tell her anything is wrong with her. Because there are some
I
people who,
commend
if you
that.
say something's wrong with them, they'll either excel to try to beat and say,
Right,
I am not this disease or I am not this diagnosis. Or you'll have those people who, unfortunately, like my mom, who you tell her something wrong with her and she lapping up every bit of sympathy that she can get.
right, and
Um,
that becomes the
to use it as
excuse.
a manipulation tactic and an
Yeah,
excuse. So it's like she didn't know which one I was gonna fall into, so it was just kind of one of them things. Like she gonna be who she is, and we gonna pray on her. But it made it real difficult because there were things that started happening as I got older. Like I would excel in some things in school. There were other things that not only would I struggle in, that I just could not get. And not realizing that, like the therapist was like, well, the majority of children who have attention deficit and whatever the other thing was, they have a problem when they get in high school with keyboarding. For example, keyboarding becomes a problem for them because whatever the other diagnosis was, is basically children who, or people who think more like a more logic based line of sight. So things that don't make sense to them, that
Mhm.
they struggle with. So, yeah, she can put together your hi-fi system, with no instructions, because she can look at the back of that and say, this is where the audio goes, this is where blah, blah, blah. And although it looks like foreign language to you, it doesn't to her because it makes sense on that logic base, on that logical level.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. If I don't get something, then I make up stuff in my mind to make it
Make
make
it make
sense.
sense.
Yeah, I just
And
do. But
you
I mean,
did say you go see a therapist, right?
yes. But no, also I was gonna say I was the opposite from you because my mother was absolutely against me going to therapy when I was in high school. Like she was not for that at all. And I know because I asked her if I could go. And I knew I needed
Why
to
did you want to go?
again, I was dealing with a lot of stuff, like, because I knew I wasn't the same as everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot going on in my head at the time. And I just figured if I go see somebody, maybe they could tell me why, all this stuff is going on in my head.
Hmm,
My
okay.
mom, my mom, to your point, was like, oh, hell no. You're not going to see no therapist so that they can label you for the rest of your life and you'll never get a job. And
I
my
think
mother
that's another fear people have
and,
of
and my
being
and my
labeled.
and my mother, just so you know, was not an uneducated woman. My mother had a master's degree.
No, you didn't
And
have to be.
I know, but I'm
There's
just
something to
saying.
be said for tough love.
And she still had these feelings about therapy and she did not let me go. Now,
Hmm.
in retrospect, that probably would
Yeah,
have
look
been,
at your grown functional ass right now.
well, that took a lot. Our relationship probably could have been helped if I had been able to go to therapy because, and I don't mind telling you, for years, I could not stand my mother. Like, we were like oil and water.
Everybody knows two women can't get along.
Mm.
Why we cannot excel as a people.
In high school, I was a cutter. So
Mm.
I probably could have dealt with those emotions better if I had had somebody to talk to about them, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, when I was younger in middle school, like I attempted to take my life like 3 times. And so the third time I tried it, I got really, really sick. And my grandmother thought I had like a cold or the flu. And on top of, I swallowed like half a bottle of like liquid codeine and some high blood pressure medicine. I'm sick as a dog.
Hmm.
And she came and gave me like two big heaping tablespoons of
Castor oil.
3 6s, of
Oh,
3 6s. I don't know if you guys have ever had 3 6s, but 3 6s is the most appropriate name for any product in history, because that stuff was the devil. And I'm telling you, I was sick for like 2 days, could not stop heaving and just, I was just like, okay, you know what? I was like, if I survive this, I will never do this again. I'll never do this again.
I've never heard of
But
3 6s, but it sounds a lot like Ipecac.
whatever the hell it was, it was
Uh,
one of those things that she would go to the cabinet. Like, there were, how people have a bunch of medicines and shit in their medicine cabinet nowadays. There were
mhm.
literally only like 3 or 4 medicines in my grandmother's medicine cabinet. 3 6s was one of them. The other one was Pepto Bismol. And the other one was that pink stuff, that Mercure cone. Like if you
Yeah.
went,
Cut
yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
And yeah, and I can't remember what the other one was. But 3 6s and Pepto Bismol was the answer to anything that you got sick with. So it was just like, that stuff was terrible. But anyway, that last time around, I was like, okay, I guess there's a reason for me to be here. Whatever it is, I guess I'm gonna figure it out because I'm not doing this again.
Look at her saving your life and saving money on a therapist. That's a great woman right there.
Like, I
Can't
feel
argue
like,
with results.
well, I mean, I feel like, it would have saved me like a lot of years of cutting if I could have, gone to the therapist.
But if your mama had the 666,
My mom wasn't down to poison me. I don't
Because that stuff was poison. Oh,
yeah,
that stuff was horrible.
get all the devil out you.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are we in church every Sunday with gloves and bonnets, and you got something in your cabinet called three sixes? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, the old
Anyway,
school remedies were the best. I mean, I remember my mom used to give me bourbon, once a month. I would get to have bourbon in my tea to knock me out. that was
I
the
done
she
seen
goal.
just
a hot
wanted you to
toddy
go
knock
to
out some
bed.
blues overnight.
No, 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 no. It was because, I would get really bad cramps, and so I would take
Oh,
medication, and then she would spike my tea with bourbon so that I could sleep through it
oh,
and come out on
Thin
the
out
other
your
side.
blood. Fucking genius.
Yeah,
yeah, for real.
yeah. Didn't work though, for the record, and I ended up having to get injections, but that's a whole nother issue.
We spent a lot of time on that subject.
Rightfully so. It's important, and get some therapy, Magic.
For what?
I already told you
Like,
for
for
what.
what?
Because you feel I should?
No.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So, in one of my online groups, somebody randomly posted this. It's a fitness group, so I don't even know why she posted this, but she posted this question,
Mhm.
which I thought was interesting because I had a gut reaction to it, and I just want to see what your reactions are going to be. So, I have a good friend that I grew up with. We are like family, more than just friends. She asked me to participate in a threesome with her and her husband. She said she would only trust me because we've known each other forever. But I'm not so sure it's a good idea. What do y'all think?
Hell no.
Set up.
And that is exactly what my immediate reaction was. No. I was like, I can see just off the top of my head at least a dozen ways that this thing goes sideways and you lose your friend over it.
There's no way it's going to go right.
Well, I can't foresee it going right, but even if it could go right, it's such a remote possibility in all the weeds of the ways it could go wrong that why would you chance that, with someone that you care about? Like, why would you do it?
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
And what is this? She would only trust you. Like, like
That's game. That ain't
that.
honest.
That sounds to me like someone who don't really want to do it and needs to put their foot down.
Or someone that has done it quite a few times before and that's their line.
Or
Either
somebody
way,
that's
it's
been
bullshit.
interested in that person for real.
Mm,
And wanted to see what it. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
see what it
ladies, fuck
do.
your friends before you bring your man in.
What? No. No.
Try to be helpful here.
Yeah, don't. That is not helpful at all.
Okay.
um,
If the case is that you want to fuck your friend, you should fuck your friend before you bring your man into the equation.
no. No.
Wow.
Um, also, your husband? No. Okay. Mm-mm. I can't even, in my mind, being in a threesome with another woman is just so, like, it doesn't, no. Like, that would be a no for me to begin with. But your husband? No, 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 no. Y'all can never have a normal relationship after that.
You know what's hilarious? You can actually rationalize, in a sense, fucking your friend's man that's not her husband.
No,
But if it's her husband that's somehow more fucked up,
no, no,
like,
no, 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 no,
yeah,
no,
husbands be
no,
rewarded
no,
with more pussy.
no, no, no. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying it's more fucked up. I'm saying it complicates it further.
That it does.
There are a lot of ramifications in husband versus boyfriend.
For starters, old girl did that all wrong. The wife just set that up all ass backwards. Clearly, all of y'all are cool. Just make it one day or a few days.
No.
Y'all all partying, y'all chilling, people getting fucked up. We talking shit. We
Oh
slipped
no,
and
no,
fell. That's
no.
the way to make that happen. To actually approach somebody and go, "Hey,
Nah.
girl, why don't you fuck my husband with me?" That's going to make shit
Yeah.
more awkward than it was already going to be anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna work for me anyway because I look at y'all and be like, okay, I'm out. But
You're no fun.
this is your house. Oh, well, I'll be back in a couple of hours.
Let me know when y'all are done.
Right.
Like,
Just give me a call or something. But yeah, no, that's not going down. It's just not.
yeah,
Vanilla.
no. There's just no rationalizing any of that to
Any
me.
of it.
Like,
And especially if you
in
value that relationship.
yeah, no, no.
Should be good.
No.
I'm not
What?
saying the odds are that'll happen, but you could enjoy
I
it.
mean, yeah, you could, but the odds are so strongly against it. The jealousy that could happen,
No,
the
the jealousy that will happen.
will happen, the attachments may happen. So many ways that this is going to negatively impact your relationship. Why even chance it?
I want to thank all of y'all for listening. If you like the show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe, tell everybody you know. We should be on some. We are on what, Instagram now?
Yeah, although, nothing is posted, but, I'll get to that this week. I'll get on it.
What's the name?
The Threesome Podcast.
Okay. I think that name's already taken on Twitter, but
Um,
I'll figure it out.
yeah.
I will be highly drunk tomorrow, so I'll figure that out Sunday.
No, okay. Well,
Oh,
one of
fuck,
these
I gotta get
days you'll
dressed
need to
up.
be highly drunk closer to me so that I can take advantage of that particular situation.
You ain't gonna do shit but try to pimp me out to your friends and give me fucking dick Yelp reviews for your little groupie friends.
Well, to be fair, I can do that long distance. And I might, I'll holler at you later on in the week.
oh.
What are you basing this information on?
And how about I think I know who you gonna pimp and try to pimp him out to?
Hey, I mean,
Wow.
Should I be the last person informed here?
Yes, later.
I'm still celibate till the end of the year. This doesn't make a difference.
Mm, okay, well,
Unless old girl act a little bit too stupid tomorrow night, and then it's gonna be what it is. But
we'll see what we can do about that.
good night.
Good night.
Woo woo woo.
Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. What the fuck?